Good morning, students, and welcome to the PE class. We are going to continue with the topic health, nutrition, and nutrients. The last class was about the concept of health, nutrition, and nutrients, and today we are going to be focusing on the main food groups. The bulk of nutrients obtained from food come from the macronutrients of carbohydrates, protein, and fats. Vitamins and minerals can be considered as micronutrients as only small quantities are needed. Carbohydrate is the main nutrient that fuels exercise. It is the most important source of energy for athletes. Once carbohydrate-rich foods are eaten, they are broken down into smaller sugars, namely glucose, fructose, and galactose, which can absorb into the blood and are used as energy. Any glucose that is not used immediately gets stored in the muscle or liver as glycogen. Once these storage areas are filled up, the remaining glycogen is stored as fat. Carbohydrates can be classified into two categories. 1. Simple carbohydrates, and 2. The complex carbohydrates. Simple carbohydrates are found in foods such as fruit, milk, honey, and sugar. They are small enough to pass through the intestinal walls and into the bloodstream. They provide a rapid source of energy because they can be absorbed and converted to energy very quickly. Complex carbohydrates are found in foods such as bread, rice, pasta, and ground provision. They take longer to be digested and absorbed into the bloodstream and therefore provide energy at a slower rate than simple sugars. Here we can see a chart of the food groups, and today we are talking about carbohydrates, we're talking about proteins, and we're talking about fats. In the following class, we will be talking about vitamins, minerals, fiber, and water. This is an image of carbohydrates, and of course, there are lots and lots more which, if you do the research, can find on your own. Carbohydrate stores are needed for any short intense bursts of exercise, such as sprinting, throwing, jumping, and weightlifting. Because it can be accessed immediately, the energy stores of glycogen can last for 30 to 90 minutes depending on the duration, intensity, and volume of exercise being performed. Sportsmen taking part in competition should ensure that they start their activity with a full storage of glycogen to call upon their energy demands. During exercise, they must continuously replenish the glycogen used. After the activity has been completed, glycogen stores must be refilled in preparation for the next training or competitive situation. If an activity is started without enough glycogen, the athlete will run out of energy and his performance will diminish. Running out of energy while performing a physical activity has been described as bunking or hitting the wall. Protein is considered as the building blocks of the body. They build, maintain, and repair the body. Without dietary protein, growth and all body functions would cease. Proteins consist of a combination of structures called amino acids that combine in various ways to form muscles, bones, tendons, skin, hair, and other tissues. There are about 20 different amino acids. Protein is not stored in the body. The foods which contain protein include meat, fish, eggs, milk, and legumes. The protein found in meat and in fish contains a wider range of amino acids than those present in plants. Athletes are more prone to injuries when compared to the ordinary individual due to the rigors of training and competition. As a result, there is greater need to repair and rebuild muscles that have been injured and damaged. Protein is also a source of fuel for the body, but is not preferred over carbohydrates. Only when the body does not have enough carbohydrates to utilize for energy is protein broken down to make glucose for energy. If it is used for fuel, however, it can have negative consequences on the body, as there would not be sufficient amounts remaining for repair and rebuilding of damaged tissue. In such situation, there would be a delay in the recovery period for the athlete, keeping him or her out of action for longer than necessary. Insufficient amounts of protein can actually lead to loss of muscle mass and by extension muscular strength and power. Fat sources are butter, margarine, oils, nuts, cream, egg yolk, cheese, and milk. All fats are a combination of saturated and unsaturated fatty acids. Fats are needed by the body for making new cells membranes, moving vitamins A, E, D, and K around the body, for covering nerves, for providing a padding to protect internal organs, and for the storage of energy. The extra energy contained in food is stored as fat underneath the skin. The storage of fat in the adipose tissues is healthy up to a certain point. Beyond the optimum level for health and physical activity, it can lead to the individual overweight or obese. Saturated fats are usually solid at room temperature and come chiefly from animal sources. Examples of these are milk, cheese, butter, eggs, and meat. Too much saturated fat in the diet can lead to health problems such as high cholesterol and heart disease. Unsaturated fats are liquid at room temperature and are typically found in plant food sources. Examples of food with unsaturated fats are olive oil, canola oil, avocado, almonds, soybeans, and fish. Unsaturated fats have important health benefits such as lowering cholesterol levels and reducing the risk of heart diseases. Fats provide the highest concentration of energy of all nutrients, while carbohydrates and proteins provide 4 calories per gram. Fats provide 9 calories per gram. It is the main fuel source for activities with low to moderate intensity, such as endurance activities like the marathon, easy cycling, walking, and jogging. Converting stored body fat into energy takes time. Fats, therefore, are not a source of energy that can be provided immediately upon request like glycogen does. The body needs to break down the fat and transport it to the working muscles before it can be used. Converting it into energy in the muscles requires a great deal of oxygen, so exercise intensity must be reduced for the process to be completed. Okay, students, today we have looked at the main food groups and we have been talking about the carbohydrates, we have been talking about the proteins, and we have been talking about the fats. We have looked into the details of these energy sources, and in the following class we will be looking at the minerals, vitamins, fiber, and water. Okay guys, you take care and see you at the next class.